Hello, welcome back to Learn Oikonomia. In this video, we are going to look at the demand for money approach by James Tobin. Okay, so James Tobin, what he has done is that he has looked into the concept of demand for money by using a portfolio approach. Having said so, let's look into the theory or the approach taken by James Tobin. James Tobin, he was an American economist and he has made some important contribution by explaining the rational behavior on the part of the individuals, especially when going for a portfolio of assets management. He says that a portfolio of an individual, it consists of both bonds as well as money. In his analysis, he makes a valid assumption that people prefer more wealth to less wealth. Okay, as per him, an investor is faced with a problem of what proportion of its portfolio of financial assets he should keep in the form of money and interest bearing bonds. So this is the important question that an investor would be facing as per James Tobin. He says that it is very much important to have a decision, or it is very much important to take a decision in order to keep what portion of the portfolio in order to invest in financial assets like bonds, and in what proportion of portfolio should be kept in the form of money. So the portfolio of individual would consist of risky assets such as shares and riskless assets such as money. Okay, so as per Tobin, individuals would be faced with safe as well as risky assets, and they diversify their portfolio by holding a balanced combination of both safe assets and risky assets. As per James Tobin, individuals' behavior show some risk aversion. They are afraid of risk and they try to maintain a balance between both risky assets as well as riskless assets. So they prefer less risk to more risk at a given rate of return because they don't want to make a loss in the future. So in the analysis of Keynes, we have seen that an individual holds wealth in either in the form of all money or all bonds, depending upon his estimate of the future rate of interest. Okay, but what Tobin or James Tobin has done is that, or as per James Tobin, individuals are very much uncertain regarding their future rate of interest, and also these people are very much risk averse, so they will take their decisions regarding their portfolio management accordingly. If a wealth holder chooses to hold greater proportion of risky assets such as bonds in his portfolio, then he will be earning a higher rate of return, but he will bear a high degree of risk. This is the main thing you have to understand. That is, there is an inverse relationship between uh, there is a positive relation, or there's a direct relationship between the rate of return and risk. High risk means you will be getting higher return, and low risk means you will be getting low return. So if you are investing in highly risky assets, that means that you are mostly probable to get high return in the future. And Tobin argues that a risk averter will not opt for such a portfolio with such as risky bonds because this person, since he is risk averter, he is afraid of risk, he will be investing more on less risky assets. On the other hand, a person who in his portfolio of wealth holds only safe and riskless assets such as money, he will be taking almost zero risk but will also be having no return. As a result, there will be no growth of his wealth. So risk averse person would be investing all his money in banks because he don't want to invest in bonds because he is afraid of risk. Therefore, people generally prefer a mixed diversified portfolio of money, bonds and shares, with each person often for a little different balance between riskless and risky return, or riskless asset and risky assets, or return from risky assets and return from riskless assets. Okay, so it is important to note that a person will be unwilling to hold all risky assets such as bonds unless he obtain a higher rate of return. Unless and until a person is expecting a huge rate of profit in the future, he won't invest all his assets on risky assets. Otherwise, what happens is that usually what people do is that they make a combination of both risky assets and riskless assets in their portfolio, and they invest their money safely so as to have some amount of risky assets and some amount of riskless assets in their portfolio. Okay, so in view of the desire of individual to have both safety and reasonable return, they strike a balance between both risky assets and riskless assets and hold a mixed and balanced portfolio consist of these assets. Okay. And now coming specifically to Tobin's portfolio approach and Tobin's liquidity preference function, you can see that his liquidity preference function is derived out of this his portfolio approach. Tobin depicts the relationship between the rate of interest and demand for money. And he argues that with the increase in the rate of interest, wealth holders will be attracted to hold a greater fraction of their wealth in bonds, and this will reduce holding money as liquid assets with them. That means that at a higher rate of interest, their demand for holding money would be less, and therefore they will be holding more bonds in their portfolio. On the other side of the coin, you can see that at a lower rate of interest, they will hold more money and less bonds in their portfolio. This means that, like in the case of Keynes' speculative demand for money approach, in Tobin's portfolio approach, we can see that demand function for money is an asset slopes downward, as you could see from this figure, where on the horizontal axis asset demand for money is shown, and this downward sloping liquidity preference function, it shows that the asset demand for money in portfolio increases as the rate of interest in bond falls. In this way, Tobin derives his aggregate liquidity preference curve by determining the effects of changes in interest rate on asset demand for money in portfolio of individuals. Tobin's liquidity preference theory has been found to be true by empirical studies as well, as it is shown by his approach. Many empirical studies reveal that aggregate liquidity preference curve is negatively sloped. Okay, and this means that most people in the economy have liquidity preference functions similar to what you could see from this figure. Now coming to the evaluation of Tobin's portfolio approach, you can see that this approach has done away with the limitation of Keynes' theory of liquidity preference for speculative motive, where Keynes assumes that individuals hold all their wealth either in money or in bonds. But in the case of Tobin's approach, you can see that according this is where individuals simultaneously hold a balanced mix of both interest-bearing bonds and money in liquid cash in order to have a balanced division of the entire wealth of the person, so as to invest something on some safe and secure riskless asset and something on some risky asset which will bear greater rate of return in the future. And Tobin analysis of simultaneous holding of money and bonds is not based on any erroneous Keynes assumption that interest rate will move only in one direction, but on a simple fact that individuals do not know with certainty which way the interest rate will change. We cannot predict that whether interest rates would fall or rise in the future. So in order to meet this kind of challenge, what Tobin has done is that he is assuming that people are risk averse and people they don't want to make losses in the future. As a result, they will strike a balance between both risky assets and riskless asset. And it is worth mentioning that Tobin's portfolio approach, according to which liquidity preference is determined by the individual attitude towards risk, can be extended to the problem of asset choice when there are several alternative assets, not just two, like money and bonds. We know that in the real world we have a multiple diversified varieties of assets, so that you can invest in diverse assets. There are not assets like money and bonds. There are so many assets in our world, so we can diversify your portfolio by investing in different kinds of assets. So that's all. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more videos, and also I am really happy to welcome you to my Telegram group and Telegram channel, where you can discuss your doubts, clarify your doubts, and you will be gaining a lot if you could engage in these kinds of discussions. So with that, I would like to end. I would like to remind you again, please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more videos.